Welcome to the Underground News Network. This is a UNN special report for January 27th, 2012. Chinese police brutality is continuing to make headlines with their deadly crackdown on ethnic minorities living in China as well as Tibet. But here's a developing story right here at home in the United States that's received little to no press. Chinese police are currently being trained in firearms and law enforcement tactics in Alvin and Junction City, just outside of Houston, Texas. That's about 4 hours from here. The come-and-take-it state is quickly becoming the Chinese Police Academy state. Closely resembling a student exchange program, law enforcement agencies in China and the U.S. are teaming up to share information and merge tactics on how to best control their populations. Now, out of 10,000 applicants, only a handful, a chosen few, were selected for this special international assignment.
Another year and another opportunity for two great countries and two police forces to make a difference. For the second year in a row, the League City Police Department has hosted 9 police cadets from China's Zhejiang Police Academy. The cadets are required to complete 4 years of training, including a year-long internship at Sam Houston State University. As a part of their internship, the cadets spent a week with officers from the League City and Alvin police departments. League City was chosen to participate in the program for the second year. Police Chief Mike Jez says it's a great opportunity for both League City officers and the Chinese students.
So it's really exciting, I think, for our officers to have an influence on future policymakers and a national police agency that's certainly a world power.
The program focuses on community policing, a practice that League City Police Department is known for.
We wanted to make sure that we had communities that had strong histories of community-oriented policing, as well as communities that were where the police were trusted and had good relationships with the community. And in this area, Alvin and League City both have very long histories of both good, effective community relations as well as community-oriented policing. So we thought this would be a good fit. Also, quite frankly, the hospitality of the people in those communities was another reason for choosing.
The students received several hours of classroom training. They took a tour of the Galveston County Courthouse and received a lesson in the American court system from Judge Alani Cox. They also toured the League City Fire Department and had some interaction with fellow emergency workers. As a part of the program, they also received arms training and did ride-alongs with League City police officers to experience community policing firsthand. The cadets aren't only paired with officers for training, they spend 24 hours a day with officers and their families, an experience neither officer nor student will ever forget.
I enjoy a great time in my host families, and the police officers are being so nice, and I had great experience during patrol.
It was just a good experience. Did 2 different cultures coming together. We both learned from each other, and we got a lot out of it. We built a relationship. The cadet we sponsored last year, we actually Facebook with him, email him. He calls us mom and dad, and we used to have a good relationship with him. So we and this year with Chris, same thing.
So what's the next step?
Probably the next logical step would be to send a delegation of our police officers to China. We're hopeful that that will happen in the near future, and again, we think that these opportunities provide the citizens of League City with a more well-rounded police department and with police officers that are truly prepared to meet their every need.
While the trip may be over for these 9 cadets, the program still continues to educate and enlighten League City Police Department and the cadets from the Zhejiang Police Academy.
Today is the time to say goodbye, but I think it's not the end of the story, it's just the beginning. Thanks everyone.
In addition, a Chinese delegation recently visited Robstown, Texas for the second time. That's several hours away from Junction City. They have interest in a large investment in the town, and currently they're in talks with the city council. In the next slide, this is a map of the route from Robstown, Texas to League City, Texas. Both cities are near the coast. Now, this is not a new development, the Chinese police training in Texas, and I'm curious if it's happening elsewhere in the United States. But there is no other information available on the web. What we have learned is that this program, though, in Texas began over 2 years ago and has yet to be reported in the alternative or mainstream media. Here's footage from 2010.
Jed Young, police college students, received firearms training from Alvin and League City Police Department officers during a morning-long course at Alvin Community College's indoor range on January 8th. Prior to shooting live rounds, the students received a safety briefing and instruction on effective firearm usage. Training began with the handling, loading, and firing of Glock semi-automatic pistols. Students were then able to examine and compare shooting techniques and scores at various distances on the range. Following several demonstrations by officers, the students even got to experience the thrill of firing an MP5 submachine gun. The 16 students are participating in an exchange program with Sam Houston State University for an academic year so they can gain experience in working with citizens of other countries and gain new perspectives in serving the community. As part of the program, the university arranged for the students to share the working and social lives of police officers from the area for 4 days. In addition to gaining firearms experience, the students were able to ride on patrol, participate in various duties, and live with the officers.
What these videos clearly demonstrate is that these Chinese police, these Chinese cadets, are not just simply observers. In training, they are actively involved in law enforcement activities within the borders of the United States. Houston area police departments have already been hosting Chinese police officers for some time.
Class 206, cadet vote.
The day that I decided to go to apply for law enforcement to be a police officer was the day that I was being robbed at gunpoint. Took my wallet and everything, and then after that, I was like, I can't, how come there are people out there still doing this kind of stuff to other people, that's just wrong. So I put my mind to it. I was like, I'm going to apply for law enforcement because I always wanted to do this when I was a little boy, so why can't I do it now?